Good evening, everybody. So I'm in a hot tub right now, enjoying myself finally. Uh, it's been a lot of ripping and running around, door dashing, and it was a slightly rough day because of the weather. It had snowed early morning, like I want to say around midnight, and it was going nonstop until like 10 or 11 this morning. And so the roads were really bad out here in Idaho at first, but then when the sun finally came out midday in the afternoon, a lot of it melted until that wind chill started picking back up. So there was a couple of patches of ice, but not really on the main roads. It was mainly just going into the neighborhoods, trying to get out of my car and go and deliver the orders to customers. But a topic that I wanted to talk about today was getting out of your own way. I kind of elaborated on that, I want to say, in my first segment. This is all still under the pilgrimage of self-worth. I think I'm gonna do, I want to say like maybe 10 segments, and then it'll go to like a different topic once I feel like I've expressed myself enough on that portion of my journey. Then that next chapter, it'll be about, different matter, like how people talk about whether they're single, together, relationship wise, love languages. I guess more or less it's kind of gonna be like that. Like it'll be broken down into, I don't know, maybe 5 or 7 different archetypes. I'm not sure yet. And for those who don't know what archetypes are, those are like the characteristics about yourself, your personalities, how you view yourself and how the world views you, really. So yeah, I break my segments down like that. I haven't decided how I'm gonna go through them and what type of chronological order. It's just basically I'm going off of right now, off of the top of my head with things and how I feel. But back to it. So getting out of your own way. Basically, the roadblock. That was the other thing, with the fog and everything from one of the other videos. So that part of getting out of your own way would be that self-doubt, that procrastination, that self-pity, and anything that's like negative to oneself, that's harmful to you, not only just mentally, but physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Just that negativity that you have, caused, whether it was cause or the effect of something, and you just allowed it to consume you. You got to break the chain. You got to find some type of loophole or wiggle room or whatever the case may be, and you got to just like get out of your own way. When it comes to that, I feel like for me personally, I'm a person that always wants to wait till the last minute to do things, and I can wing it. That's that's how I got through a lot of my schooling, because I consider myself a very intellectual person, like, knowledgeable. I can learn things very quickly. I'm a good listener, so like I can follow a set of rules or figure something out and get it done. But the problem is, like, if there's a certain deadline or something and I'm solely responsible for that, it's like a project, or even if it's like a team, I wait until the last minute to do things and get it done. I mean, it's done. And, from a grade standpoint, I would say in the past, I've gotten I've winged it and I can get like a B plus, or a B at the most on it. But it's like, how can I push myself to get motivated for that A, to plan ahead, to brainstorm, to actually sit down and put a plan together and achieve it, conquer it. How much time is it going to take? How much effort am I going to need for this? What can I do to make it better? In a situation where the can is like, I can't allow, the negativity to control me anymore, consume my time, gotta get rid of that procrastination, that anxiety, those things that bother people on a day-to-day basis, really. I don't say like anxiety issues. I think I've gotten that later on in life, but I feel like that was more or less like I had miniature episodes of PTSD from, and that was just from certain issues, like I said, that's happened. That just caused me to become a different person. I feel like almost losing my life a couple times. More recently, right before my daughter was born, I was in a real bad wreck where I could have died, but somehow I made it out with just like a concussion and bruises and scrapes. But thankfully, I was blessed enough to make it out of there. And then when COVID really hit, it's like I had lost 2020. I had lost 120 pounds. I was starting my health journey, and then boom, I got hit with type 2 diabetes, because those bad toxins and things are trying to get out of my system. And then that's me being in my own way. How I felt was like it was bittersweet, because it's like, hey, congratulations, you lost all this weight. You're trying to do the right things, but then it's like, hey, here goes, screw yourself. You got diabetes now. But it's like I've probably already been pre-diabetic for a long time, just because of my weight issues. But it was just like it actually happened, and so then it was just like I basically gave up on myself for a brief moment in time. And then when I finally tried to get back into it, I had gained 50 pounds back, but then I had lost it. Then I got COVID really bad, and to the point where it hospitalized me, and I felt like I was at that breaking point. Like I thought I wasn't gonna make it, really, because my asthma, it only bothers me when the weather fluctuates, but it was just something different. It's like I had pneumonia on top of my asthma. My oxygen levels, I've already had bad oxygen issues because of sleep apnea, but my levels were at 80, below 80, and this was May of 21. And I was hospitalized for over a week, and I didn't think I was gonna make it. When I came out, I was just like a different person. my body got so weak, like the nerve damage came back from my accident when the truck hit me. I got like a fungus on the bottom of my feet that I thought was like a permanent disease. So I didn't know for like the longest, it was over a year. So I really figured it out, like why I had like this severe pain on the bottom of my feet. And it was just like I was in a real bad spot, and I could have gave up, you know, and I did for a while because I still had, on top of that, like my body being weak, my neuropathy came back. I wasn't taking the right medicine for the neuropathy because I didn't know what it exactly what it was at first. No doctor was telling me the right things that I needed to hear. I had to like figure it out on my own, and from the help of like a friend and, you know, my mom, you know, they eventually like, oh, you should be taking these. And then once we got those in my system, you know, I don't really take them now because like I'm working out again and trying to build my strength back up, but it's only a necessity when I feel like I can't move because I'm super stiff from my nerve damage. But those things were like holding me back bad. Like I wasn't really working for a good like year and a half. So like I had to be one of those, you know, one of those individuals that had to, you know, luckily I got blessed enough with the emergency relief for like the rent and stuff. Because on top of this, I'm a full-time dad, you know, at this time. You know, like trying to have my daughter full-time, get her from school, you know, work with the schedules of myself, her mom, you know, my family, like if I needed them, because like I said, I'm weak. So it's like, daddy can only do so much as far as movement wise, and then I'm barely seeing my son at this time. Like I've missed out on a lot of time with my son over these past few years, just because of me not managing my time properly and not taking the steps that I need to, and my health, these health scares. And sometimes our toughest battles that we have, it's not from what people might do to us or the things they say or what they may cause and the effect of that. Is what we do to ourselves or what happens to us personally and the battles that we deal with on a day-to-day basis that nobody really knows about but you. Because at the end of the day, you know, your family, your loved ones, or whoever, they ask, you know, what's wrong? You know, what's going on with you? And you're just like, nothing. No, I'm okay. Everything's good, you know, same old same. But it's not, because you're dying inside. Like you're really hurt, you're hurting. And it's like you can't, like I said on the last episode, you know, you gotta find the right people to be vulnerable with, because you can't leave that, you know, that stuff in. And so just all of those things were built up, and I had to get out of that slump. I had to, you know, make my way out of there. And so I finally started doing the right things and figuring it out. And I know I'm still not 100%. Like I said, I still got crazy pain from my nerve damage, but you know, getting into the gym and walking and like the door dashing and moving around and just building that strength back up has helped a lot. But I know that the battle's not won yet. You know, I still have a long way to go. I brought my A1C down. If people don't know what A1C is for diabetes, that's your blood sugar levels. And so they have a chart when you gotta go get a blood test done. And when I first got diagnosed, I walked into the hospital, my sugars were over 450. And you can go into a coma with high sugars like that. Or if they get super low, like under, hell, even being single, like below 50, you know, is bad. Even slightly above that is bad. But, you know, I told the doctors my side effects there. They're like, yeah, you got type 2. And so my A1C levels were over 15. So 15 is where they start reading, and that's super high. That's the highest that's on the chart. And then my levels were above that. And so it was just like, man. And this is at the point where I lost the 120 pounds. And, you know, my coach, you know, he was trying to talk me through it. You know, him and his wife, you know, they were real supportive. They're like, look, that's just, you got to keep on going. And I was just like, you know, I wasn't listening to him. I didn't want to hear it because it's just like, I felt like every time something good happened to me, something bad was just right behind it, and it'll push me 20 steps back, you know, from the progress, you know, that I'm making. And so like I said, I gained like 50 pounds back, you know, during COVID, plus from being sick and then everything else. I finally had lost the 50 because I found a job that I was, you know, really good at, but my body's still not 100%, and then I end up with viral and bacterial pneumonia because of the type of job I was doing. I was in and out of the cold because it was always rainy nonstop back home, and I'm in and out of coolers, and body's still not 100% from COVID. And so I ended up in the hospital again for another week, and they wanted to keep me longer than a week. They wanted to keep me a whole month because I didn't have my CPAP machine yet, and they didn't listen to me. Only like one nurse and one respiratory representative from that department at St. Joe Hospital. Bless those two people. They know who they are. They were the only ones that believed in what I said, and I told them I'm not a liar. I've never lied about anything, you know, of importance that really mattered. I might have, you know, like stretched the truth or something and just BS stuff, but I've never lied when it comes to a situation that's involving my health, you know, and things like that. And I told them, it's like, my levels were fine, you know, like my 4th or 5th day there. And then all of a sudden they start changing the nurses, they start changing the doctor up, and then trying to tell me I need to take insulin. Never took insulin in my life. I only had to do metformin and Ozempic, which is a shot, but it's just to regulate the sugars. And so I was only taking that, and then I'll do like another medicine called lisinopril for that, like my blood pressure, because they always said it was like high. Even though like I'm normally a chill person, I'm stressing because of just everything that's happening to me. But aside from that, I'm never like in a situation where my blood pressure needs to be raised, aside from when I was dealing with a riot. But that's my baby. So she's the only one that can get my blood pressure that high. And then it goes right back down because that's my homie. That's my best friend. Noah's all right. No, that's my baby boy. He has his moments. He tries to buck up with me. I try to fight me all the time when I see him because he swears. But basically, a nurse. No, she's a pharmaceutical rep there. She does like the pharmacy stuff, so she like orders the scripts and whatever for like your medicines at St. Joe. She said that because I wasn't listening to the new doctor, who wasn't there for any of the treatment, nurses wouldn't talk to the next shift to explain what's going on with me and my situation. So every time somebody came in, they'd change my oxygen levels, they'd do this, they wouldn't listen to what I'm telling them because of my experience when I was there with COVID, and like how they have to read my oxygen levels, and they're not gonna get the proper levels out of my fingertips because, I don't know, it was just something you can't get the good readings out of my fingers. They gotta do it through my earlobe. They weren't listening. And so basically I'm just like, you know what? That's when I'm like, you know, you can't just sit here and let them just do whatever they want to do. And so that's when I like I stopped feeling bad for myself, and I started, actually having, a valid argument and debate with them on why they feel that was necessary for me to, stay here longer. And I told them, I'm not taking this medicine. I'm not doing this because I don't need it. I've never used insulin until you guys start giving it to me because of all the steroids you injected me with because of my viral and bacterial pneumonia. And so when it was all said and done, I finally got out of there. And so then it's another battle, like having to go back to work, still having to be, full-time dad, still having to, manage that, get the baby to and from, pick her up, drop her off, work around everybody's schedules. And it just got to that point where I was like, man, I can't keep on living like this and like basically scraping up all the money that I can to just be able to survive, And so that's why my journey, I traveled out here, trying to make a way, but it's just like, it's still too far from home because I still want to be there for my kids. But at the same time, I gotta, I have to step away. I have to get away from all those negative thoughts, and I have to reinvent myself. And so like by New Year's, I had to be in South Bend for my doctor's appointment on the 28th. It was the 27th or the 28th. It was that Tuesday before my birthday. My birthday was a Thursday, so yeah, the 27th I had to be at the doctor's appointment for my A1C. And like I said, my original one was off the charts, and so I was over 15. So then every 3 months is when I go back for my readings and my basically where I'm at medicine-wise, what am I doing that's different, what's my routine like for my meal prepping, my portions, my exercising, working, what am I doing? And so, so boom, 3 months hit, I'm down to 10. I'm in the 10s now. So I'm alright, I'm doing it. I'm losing weight again. We're able to come out the house. Regulations have eased up for COVID. Boom, next 3 months, I'm in the 9s. I'm like, all right, cool. Getting better. I'm in the 9s again. I need to switch because I've been in the hot tub too long, so excuse me. I'll walk over and step in the pool before they close it. They're supposed to close it at 11 o'clock my time. They probably don't even realize I'm in here because I've been in the hot tub. So basically, okay, I got 5 minutes, so my story probably take about that. So I can sit in the pool for a little bit and talk to y'all. Okay, that's better. All right, so basically, I'm in the 9s now. They tell me they want me to get down where you want your A1C at is under 6. 7 is okay, but they want it underneath that because then that's when, if you're a type 2, you can come off of certain medicines and all that stuff. And so I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. So I'm like in the high 9s, I'm in like a 9.7 by then. So then 3 months after that, all right, I'm still in the 9s, but hey, you're 9.2, that's good. I'm like, okay, cool. Actually, when I first got it done, see, that's the crazy thing. When I found out about the diabetes, I was like, fuck it. I didn't care. This is BS. So that was in 2020, August 8th, 2020 is when I had my first doctor's appointment. And so I was supposed to go back in 3 months, but I didn't go. So I just basically used up all the medicine that I had as far as the metformin. And it was, before Ozempic, it was the same thing. I had to shoot myself in my stomach on 3 centimeters away from my belly button on each side once a day, every day. And then the Ozempic was like, you just do it once a week. You just pick a week or whatever. So it's 2020, August 8th. That's when I had my first doctor's appointment. And then I, met my doctor, cool guy. He's a younger guy. He's probably like a little bit older than me by a few years, but he's an alright guy. He's very supportive. And I appreciate him and the staff a lot. If you guys are looking for a primary care physician in the Mishawaka, South Bend area, Joshua Avery at HealthLink, awesome guy. 4th Street, Mishawaka, by the way. They even have eye doctors there, chiropractor, all that. And they have I believe they have an OBGYN there too. So like I stopped going, and it was a year until I went back. That was the crazy thing, because I just said fuck it. Like after I had that metformin, I was just using like, and then I got the gabapentin from like family members because they just had extras and they told me about it. And this is before I actually talked to my doctor about it, but it helped me a lot when it came to my nerve damage. And so I finally got all that situated, and I went back in 2021 after COVID. After I got COVID, I went back. So he's like, hey, long time no see. So I'm like, yeah, I'm back. And that's when I found out my sugar and everything was lower, because I was actually working, lifting weights because of all the sodas and all that stuff. I'm moving and carting around and taking into these coolers and having to do all that. And so I start going consistently and actually getting my health checked out, because it is true, and they say health is wealth, because at the end of the day, like I don't want to outlive my babies, but I want to be able to live with them as they grow. I want to experience what they got going on in life, and I want to eventually, be able to experience the joy of being a parent all over again when, I have grandkids, So I, trying to get my health in order, because of that, to have a future with my tribe, my little ones and myself. And so from the 9s, I made it down to the 8s. That's when I got after the nurse physician at my doctor's office, because she was trying to put me on a stronger dosage of the Ozempic. I'm like, no. And I made a bet with her, and she wasn't there when I went back because I flew in from Seattle. So I got my A1C down after that 8 point. It was like an 8.5 or 8.7 or whatever it was. I got it. It's about that time. But I got it down to a 7. I'm like a 7.2 or 7.3 now. When it comes to my A1C, so I'm proud of myself. That's one of those battles where I had to get out of my own way, and so I feel accomplished, when it came to that situation. And so I thought about that, and it made me realize, like, even the small battles are, battles that are won are ones that prepare you for the future. And I know I still have a lot of battles that I'm going through, and that I know other people are going through. And they just have to let go, get out of their own way, and achieve that mini win, and they'll prepare you for the next one. And so basically, I just wanted to give you all a little tidbit into my life and what I've been going through. And, you know, if you want to take the time to listen, I appreciate you. If you want to know more, there's still more to come. But until next time.